Jonathan Mills.
I'm Chance Ramsdale.
And welcome to Misunderstanding Millennials, where we hope to help you understand millennial culture a little bit better. Millennials fall between the years of the early 80s to the late 90s, meaning the next generation is now coming to age. The world has always been changing, and it always will be, whether people like it or not. And we're here for those who want to understand a little bit better. How's everybody doing today? How are we doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
Pretty well.
All right, so I guess we're going to get into it today. We got an email a couple days ago. We got a nice email, and honestly, I can't believe this. This is like the most mind-blowing thing, honestly. We got an email from someone who was 17 years old and said that they're part of Generation Z. Like, I don't even know how to, like, what to think about that. I was just like...
People watch us?
Well, people our age watch us is what surprises
That's crazy.
me, honestly.
That's insane.
So we have somebody who is from Generation Z that watches us. If you're watching right now, thank you so much for watching and emailing, because that really literally blew our minds.
Oh, yeah.
We were like speechless for a moment. And so they, in the context of this email, a lot of it was talking about Generation Z, because, you know, obviously the emailer is from Generation Z, and wanting to hear more stuff talking about Generation Z, because, you know, us millennials, you know, we can tend to be a little selfish sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Little narcissistic,
we want to talk about ourselves a lot. And, you know, we can't skip over the current generation, I guess the newest generation, Generation Z.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're technically from Generation Z. You're kind of on that middle ground that we had like this huge discussion before we went on the air about, which we'll get into, don't worry.
Yeah.
So, I'm from Generation Y, the millennials. So we figured, what better time to do some analysis on like the key differences between the two generations. Because like a lot of people seem to lump millennials and Gen Z together. It's like, are you a young person? Then boom, you're a millennial. And that's not really how it works. They get lumped together a lot. So we're going to take a look today at some of the differences and see where that line is drawn in between Gen Z and millennials. So I got a lot of interesting statistics that compare millennials and Gen Z, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to see what we think about it. All right, how's that sound? Sound good?
Let's get it.
All right. First thing, I say this number all the time. I say this number at least twice every episode, at least
twice. Count. Twice.
Generation Y, the millennials. There's roughly 80 million of them currently.
Okay.
Which, I mean, obviously, because they can't be born anymore.
No, they cannot.
Yeah, they can't be born anymore. So
that'd be a little weird.
That would be a little weird.
A little freaky.
But Generation Z is about 65 million individuals, which their generation is not technically ended yet. So those being born right this moment are technically Generation Z. So, of course, that population is going to go up.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's not really anything you discuss. It's kind of just a fact, really.
We're spitting facts tonight.
Economic impact. And this is another one that's kind of like, duh.
Facts.
It's facts.
Yeah.
It's facts. But this is another one, kind of like a duh moment. Millennials, their economic impact is about 600 billion.
Okay.
Which makes sense because there's 80 million of them and they're adults. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Okay.
But I almost feel like this is almost just like a little bit of shade thrown towards the Gen Z, because their economic impact is 44 billion, but the statistics that I was reading specifically stated that if you calculate that out to total week's allowance, that's about $16.90 a week. How much allowance did you make?
0.
You didn't get any allowance?
No, I don't. Yeah, I've never had allowance.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I work for my house. I work for the roof I stay under.
Okay.
I work for the food I was fed.
That's another question that I'm wondering is like, do people like that age, like, you know, like kids who are like old enough to be responsible and do chores around the house, do they still make like an allowance?
No.
I don't know if that's still a thing, because I don't think I ever had that either. Mm-mm. Like, obviously I wasn't just being like, yo, parents, just buy me this, 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 and this, like over and over again. Yeah. But I don't remember them saying, okay, here's your $15 for the week.
No.
So is that not a thing anymore?
No, I'd be the most stacked kid in the neighborhood if I made $15 a week.
But again, you know, these, you know, 600 billion versus 44 billion, that gap is kind of obvious, because you got to think, yes, there's 65 million of them, but some of those 65 million were literally born yesterday. So like babies and toddlers are literally counting as Gen Z right now.
Yeah, yeah. So these facts are a little.
It makes sense.
These facts are a little.
They're a little off, but it makes sense when you think about it in that sense. This is the one that I found really interesting, especially the article that I was reading talking about role models. So when you think of a role model of your generation as someone in Gen Z, who do you think about? Like, who is somebody that's just iconic to like
In Gen
you
Z.
and your not like they don't have to be from Gen Z, but somebody that your generation looks up to a lot.
That my generation looks up to a lot. I don't know. No one. I look up to myself.
Well, I feel like this is another bit of a low blow for the Gen Z generation because according to this statistic, role models for Gen Z, not even the actress, Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games movies.
Yo,
How do you
chill
feel about that?
She's a strong, independent young woman. There's nothing wrong with that, Jonathan.
I mean, there's nothing. I just find it interesting that it's like not a real person.
Hey,
I mean, it's a character.
listen. It's okay. They look up to her. It's not that big of a deal.
I've seen Hunger Games come up a lot when I look at Gen Z for some reason.
Really? I feel like that's kind of
'cause-
like a late us, like, or a late millennial thing
I mean,
almost.
I guess so, but a lot of the people who reference it talk a lot about how, there's so much turmoil when it comes to like the children and the younger people in the movie because like the whole concept of the movie, these children are basically fighting for their lives and essentially
Yeah.
killing each other, right?
No, they are.
Yeah, they're killing each other. So, and that sort of relates back to how I guess Gen Z kind of only knows sort of this chaotic world of being war torn and terrorism and just like children aren't the center of the universe in this current world.
Yikes.
I guess that's at least what I get out of it. But another low blow is PewDiePie,
Oh.
the YouTuber PewDiePie.
Oh.
And I mean, let's be
Yikers.
honest, he does have a really young audience that would be considered Gen Z. But I feel like that's kind of a low blow to be a role model for Gen Z.
I used to watch PewDiePie.
I mean, I won't lie. I think he's pretty funny sometimes.
He's not.
I think he's funny sometimes.
He used to be.
Yeah, well, I think he's funnier now than he used to be. But anyway.
What?
Anyway, PewDiePie and Katniss Everdeen,
We're gonna fight.
two characters, are considered Gen Z's role model, which is a little weird. Of course, I'm not going to say that this is like fact because I would say this is a little bit out there. But I want to use this versus what they claimed was the role models of the millennial generation, which was Kanye West and Michael Phelps.
Kanye West. Make America great again.
Just like, do I think that Kanye is the best role model? No, but I also don't think he's the worst role model. I mean,
Oh, I know who a role model for Gen Z is.
Okay.
Or my
Let's hear
generation. Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD.
It's my role model.
I don't know a lot about him, but
It's my role model. Or
Oh,
X.
okay.
X is my
yeah.
role model.
I will say he's got a lot of bad rap about him, but I think that he was trying to do good things. I just think he was a bad person. I think he was doing the right things, but the wrong person to do them.
Yep.
But Kanye West and Michael Phelps is the supposed role models of the millennial generation.
Yikes.
That's just weird to me. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they wrote that. I mean, like, I can see it, but it's kind of like I find it ironic because it's like two people who like have had some pretty big impact, but have also screwed up a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it seems kind of fitting almost.
Michael Phelps. I don't think Michael Phelps is screwed.
Well, we'll remember he got I think he was on camera or on video at one point smoking weed at some party, and that like almost ruined his career.
Crap.
As an
my bad.
Olympic swimmer.
Marijuana, sorry. My bad. Yeah. No, that's bad. Yeah, sorry.
So, I mean, that happened. But Kanye West, Michael Phelps, like two people who were like really successful, but they kind of screwed up and not everybody likes them. But I just thought that was an interesting one. All right, let's talk about some stereotypes. Chance, when people look at you and they see that you're a young 18-year-old man, what is the stereotype with your generation? And what have you been told that is like such a stereotype that you're like sick of hearing?
Well, sick of hearing. Personally, people saying my name in a sentence was a joke, but I don't know about like me as like a guy. Maybe I give off the skater boy vibe.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of going for.
I mean,
but
that's
I
fair.
mean,
But,
I
like,
don't really know like a bad.
Are there
stereotype.
any like stereotypes for like your generation as a whole?
Oh,
Like,
well, like I don't know that we're lazy.
well, yeah.
That we don't do anything really well, like at all. How we just live our lives day to day on
Yeah.
that screen.
And you get tired of hearing that because
Yeah.
that's actually what I wrote down. Because one of the things that people said the most when they were from Generation Z that said, "What's a stereotype that you're so sick of hearing?" That they learn to swipe a screen before they learn how to speak.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But, I will turn this around on the millennials and say that this is totally one that I 100% agree with, that we're entitled and need constant feedback and coddling.
Coddling?
Like,
I don't need nothing from nobody.
Yeah.
I'm my own man.
But, I mean, I feel like these are kind of, like, true. Like, I feel like everybody kind of says this about our generations.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, a little bit of a more serious topic. What was, like, the biggest, most... I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Because for the millennials,
the most mindset-changing events in history.
So it's like it's something that has stuck with everybody. And I'll go first, just to use an example. I think 9/11 was kind of like a really mind-blowing, mind-changing event that the world is not all rainbows and butterflies, and that event has kind of stuck with everybody ever since then.
I have one for Gen Z.
Okay.
Sandy Hook.
Yes. Okay, that's a great one.
Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
That changed the whole game.
Yeah. Was that the first major school shooting?
Columbine.
Well, not the first major school shooting, because I know Columbine happened, but of your generation.
It's the first one It's the first one that when I heard about it, because I didn't really know about Columbine that much. When I heard it happen, it actually hurt.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a mindset changing thing.
Yeah, that's fair. But because a lot of people, which not to say that the younger generation's not really that educated about 9/11 or something, because I'm sure that you at some point knew what it was. You knew what 9/11 was.
I know what 9/11 is.
Of course,
that every day.
Yeah,
almost. Yeah.
But that's a really interesting thought that people are alive now that did not live through the events of 9/11, and that was the first thing that I put together today.
I was 1 year old when
that kind of hit me, and I was like, whoa, that. There were people that were alive that did not live during that period, because I think I was 6. I would have been 6 years old.
I was 1.
And I remember it happening, because I remember when it happened. I remember where I was. I remember seeing it on the TV and everything.
I don't remember where I was.
Yeah, we were 1, so that's kind of understandable.
We have a.
Do we want to
actually? No, I think
that's the station line.
Never mind.
We're all good. Our lines aren't even up anyway yet. So we're just talking. But if you do have any thoughts or comments or anything, go ahead and shoot them to our email. We can go ahead and plug that while we're sitting here. Email's up on the screen, millennials47@gmail.com, if you want to send us anything.
All right. So
I think
I'll do the next one.
Okay.
I'll do the next
okay.
one.
I think this one's a funny one, and I have some thoughts about this.
So
we want to hit line 1.
All right, line
All right,
1.
that's fine. Let's go for it.
Hi, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, is this the Millennials?
Yes, it is.
This is Charles. How y'all doing?
What's up,
Good,
Charles?
how are
How's it
you?
going?
I have to admit, I'm out of state right now.
Okay.
I can't see the show. I'm just checking on you guys. What's your major thrust tonight?
We're talking about the differences between Gen Y and then Gen Z.
Because, Chance is technically not a millennial. He's actually part of Gen Z, so we're actually sort of looking at the differences between his generation and my generation, sort of comparing, since they kind of get lumped together, and there sort of needs to be a line drawn to say, these are two separate generations, and they don't define each other.
Yep.
And, I come from Gen X, and you know why I'm proud of that?
Why are you proud of that?
Is it because you're the hardest working generation?
Because we're the hardest working generation.
It's because we're the hardest working generation.
Yeah, I knew it.
You're right.
But that's all right, Charles, because, it only makes sense because everyone in Gen X right now is an adult and has probably been in their career for a long time. So I would imagine it would be the hardest
And most
working.
people in Gen Z are in diapers right now.
That is true.
Working that bottle.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
But the reason I really called, I got to ask you. So we're saying you're going to get a ground game and get things going. How's that going?
Pretty well. Do you want to talk about the email you just sent out?
Okay. I am trying to get the Democratic senator candidate on the show to talk about local politics and how, if they're corrupt or not, and what reform we need to do in the political system.
So you're going to ask them if they're corrupt. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And we also have in the works a show that is going to be sort of not necessarily a debate format, but more of a discussion format about the legalization of marijuana across a panel of people who are all different ages, but from the millennial generation, to see different perspectives.
Awesome.
And Caleb from the Church of Christ will be taking part of that also.
Wow. Now, I understand the Democratic candidate that is going to be. Do you think which generation can get most accomplished? My generation or yours?
I believe our generation will be able to get more accomplished because we're starting to move up. we're starting to get our lives together, and we're starting to get into the more make a change for the better type mentality.
I feel like the millennial generation, we can't judge their accomplishments yet because they're just sort of hitting adulthood and like getting out there and being able to do something.
Because we're not the forgotten generation, we are the going to make a change generation.
Yeah, but you're going to get off your ass up. But that's the key.
I mean, we'll
rather
try.
you not use curse words, but yes, that's what we're doing.
We'll try.
I mean, we've all got one.
Yeah, I guess, but rather use
Look at
not
my ass
profanity.
as a curse word. It's part of my body.
Okay, well,
He's getting up and making movements, doing things.
That's fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
that's what we're trying to do.
I mean, not everything can be done on the phone.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of time, FaceTime. I think one of the most valuable things I do is get in front of people's faces. Not on TV, and TV is one way to do it, but I actually I go to their place and I talk to them, excite them.
Yeah.
I pitch all the time, and a lot of it is just getting effective and being the most excited in the room. That's my big secret.
That's true. I can
come in and I am prepared to be the most excited person in that room about any subject of the day.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if it's bagging groceries. When I bag groceries, I got the most tips because I was excited about it. I made sure the ladies knew I was not going to squish the bread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey man, that's a way to live it. That's a way to do it.
Well, that's what I'm telling you guys. I think that's what you lack.
Okay.
That's what my generation, I think, we're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We do work the hardest. And sometimes we may work too hard. Sometimes I have a good friend, Bob Sharp, who says, work smarter, not harder.
Yep.
That's it. I think that would be y'all's comeback to me. But
All
still, I don't want to take all the time up, but I want y'all to rock. And it's political season, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
You can
sir.
make the impact. I think y'all do believe, because the first time I called you, you said that you didn't get anything done. Do you still believe that?
No, I mean, I never believed it in the first place that we can't get anything done. I just think there are people.
That's what you said. No, you said everybody ignored you.
Well, but now we're working. We're working towards it now.
we're making progress. Like there's a lot of people who will fight against us. That is discouraging, but it's not impossible.
Who's going to fight you? Who's going to fight you?
The old people, Charles. The old people don't like us.
I'm not sure. I think you can win over old people. I don't think. See, there you go. You're defeated before you start.
Oh no, don't worry. I think their minds can be changed, but I think it's going to take
you
more
can work
work.
over young.
We're not defeated. We're
Everybody loves you, man. What are you talking about?
okay. Well, thank you, Charles. We appreciate it. We have to take a break now, though.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Charles. All right, other caller that's on the line, stand by. We'll get to you right after this break, but we're going to go into some commercials here in a second, and we'll be back here in a minute.
See ya.
Back to Misunderstanding Millennials. Chance, what were we talking about? You didn't have to throw the bottle that I had water in.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
We were talking about Generation Y and Generation Z, but we have a caller on the line.
All right, let's take the call.
Hi, caller. You on there?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it
Very
going?
good.
All right, one thing that people say about your generation really ticks me off is when they say you're not but a bunch of tide-eating kids.
Oh, yeah.
Kids. I mean, it just come on, and then all y'all do is play video games. I'm 61 years old. We used to sit in front of the TV for hours.
Yeah.
Okay? If we had the games y'all have, we never would have been outside. Everybody says, all we did is we played outside. It's because we didn't have no air conditioner, and we only got 3 channels on the TV, and all it was soap operas during the day. We had no choice.
Yeah, I understand, totally.
You know, if we had the options y'all had, we'd been the same way. My question is, and maybe you want to answer this another show, or you can answer it now.
Okay.
Do y'all put any thought into, or how do you feel about, you're probably going to be the first generation that is not offered Medicaid or Social Security benefit? And if you do, you'll be 80 years old before you see them.
You know, that's something that I've thought about before, but something that I tend to not think about a lot just because I'm so young. Mm-hmm. But because, you know, Social Security has been said to have been drying up for a while. I don't know the exact numbers on it, but I mean, it's a concern. But it's not something that I really know all the facts about at the moment. But yeah, I think it's definitely something that has been thrown around a lot and something to worry about.
And that's going to cause our kids to have to be able to pay more for us.
Yeah.
Rather than just, you know, like accumulating debt.
That's an interesting idea, though. I think we could definitely like make an entire show about that and be able to like get the information together and look at it.
Because I think your generation, more than any other generation, has to start saving for retirement in the early 20s.
Yeah, totally. Actually, one of the things that I had brought up for the topic tonight was that the millennial generation has actually been bigger spenders than the Generation Z, which makes sense because Generation Z doesn't have nearly as much money, but Generation Z is putting a lot more thought towards saving their money and making sure that they have like a solid savings account and they're not spending money as crazy as us older people. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But anyhow, guys, I appreciate your show. I like that you're getting more comfortable and it is getting more watchable.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Hard to get through. I'm not going to lie to you. Are flowing more now.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
Anyhow, and don't be afraid. If Charles calls in and gives y'all trouble and swears, hang up on him.
Okay. Don't worry, Charles.
Thank you.
Charles means well, but thank you so much for your call. We really appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. You too.
We have another caller.
All right, let's go ahead and take that.
Hi, caller, you on there?
Am I on air?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just heard that guy calling in talking about y'all need to be saving up for Social Security. I'm 78 years old, and then my husband, he worked he was most of the time a foreman or a mechanic, electrical or something like that. He made good money, but you still have a hard time when you get worried about Social Security.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have to worry about the insurance. What's the government going to do to take all that? Then if we get sick and have to go to a nursing home, they automatically get your property if you have to stay there. So it's not, to me, I don't mean to be discouraging, but as far as telling y'all you need to put money back, that is good. And I do have 2 grandchildren, 137 and 135. Wednesday and 33, and they both are doing good, but and they're making good money. But I'm not going to say when they get my age, they still going to be guaranteed to be able to make a living. I don't know what they're going to do really.
Right.
Because years ago they depended on the land. Garden. Well, if you can't afford to ever get ahead. I have an acre of land, but I'm not able to work a garden. I do
Yeah.
mow my yard, but it would be hard to make a living on a garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, I sound discouraging, and I'm discouraged myself, but, and I think what we got in the White House, we don't work from one day to the next, what we're going to be told to. But I watch your show every night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I enjoy it, and I get after Charles. I said, Charles, you can't make them just start out like you want it. And I like to pick at him, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
And,
you.
he's okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right.
We appreciate it
he's
now.
just trying to, he's wanting y'all to make sure you stay on, hang in there and not worry about it, but,
Yeah, he has his moments,
you're
but he
not
does a
free
good
of
job.
worry. I don't care how old you live to be, you're not never free of worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you're married and got children, you worry about your children. When they get old, still worry about them. You don't never get worried about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think y'all going to do okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
And I will stay behaving. Thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
not
it.
going to be going off on you if I don't want to watch you. I just won't say that.
Okay.
All right, that's
All
fair.
right.
That's fair.
You've heard that woman that calls Ken and says we talk about it. I don't like her doing Ken like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some dialogue with Ken about how
Yeah.
to handle that before, but I mean, you know, again, with our system way we handle it, yeah.
Yeah, we don't screen calls, so
Yeah,
it is what
we
it is.
all like you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice night.
Watching you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Do we need to go ahead and take another break real
Yeah,
quick?
we're going to go ahead and take another break. Caller, just stay on the line. Please hold out just a little bit longer. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Millennials. It's me, Chance Ramsdale, with Jonathan Mills.
Ooh, that was a spicy intro. That was good.
Yes, sir. We got a call on the line.
That light means we have to talk to somebody.
Yes, it does. Hi, caller. You're on there. I think I blew his TV up with that noise.
Caller, are you there?
Are you
You're on
there?
there.
He got scared.
I'm going to give him 10 more seconds. Caller, is
10,
anybody there?
9.
No, when it gets to 20.
8.
Caller, anybody? Hello? Oh, well.
And
All right.
that's
Well,
a no.
caller, if you were on the line, we couldn't hear you. Call back. We'll give it another go.
It's probably Chase's fault.
Probably Chase's fault. He's actually up here, so he's not even back there right now.
Yeah, he's not even back
So-
there. We can't even change
So I don't even
positions
know
if
what's
we want
going
to
on.
Put a graphic up right now? Can't happen.
No.
Put a new title up? Can't happen.
So
Email
we're
up?
stuck
Nope.
right now. Nothing's happening.
What?
What?
Oh, I was stuck for a second. But
He walks up to us and asks if we're still in the air. Like, we have to check.
so we're gonna go ahead and continue this since we have
Right.
no callers and
Right.
it looks like we have no emails.
Here's an interesting one about the differences between the generations. Flip phones. How
I had one.
you had a flip phone?
I had a flip phone.
As being 18 years old, you had a flip phone.
I
I'm kind of
tore
surprised.
that thing apart. When I mean like the casing around the flip phone was ripped to shreds. Took it, threw it against the wall once, bounced it,
You
caught
don't,
it,
you don't want to do
threw
that
it
with your phone, probably. You don't want to throw it.
kept going, caught it, one. Oh, mic fell off.
Nice. So,
yeah, I
how
had a flip
old
phone.
were you when you had this flip phone?
12, 13?
12. Good
13,
lord,
14,
man.
something like that. Somewhere
Well,
around
okay,
there.
that's not too different. I would say that I probably had my first one when I was probably about 13 or 14, flip phone. I didn't know a smartphone until like, I was probably like 16 or 17 maybe. Maybe no, I feel like that's a little
Really?
late. No,
I had a
I remember
smartphone
I
as
remember the last
15.
phone I had before I switched to a smartphone was one of those that had like the slide out keyboard.
Oh, I had one of those.
Because I remember that I always said, I was like, don't see how people type on phones that don't have an actual keyboard. And then I
Oh,
was
did
like,
you not know how to type on a flip phone?
No, on like
One
a
of them?
on a touch screen, like where the keyboard's on the screen.
Oh.
I was God. It would flip phones. Like I could type. I
Oh, I
so
was a
fast.
monster at
I was
flip
I
phones.
was a legend.
Yeah, I had a that was actually my first phone, was a sliding phone.
Yeah.
I washed it accidentally. And then I got a flip
It
phone.
happens to the best of us. Anyway, we had somebody call up and talk about watching TV.
All right.
You know, a lot of us watch TV and stuff. Here's some interesting facts. Gen Y, the millennials, on average watch 14.8 hours of television a week, where Gen Z watches 13.2 hours of television
That's
a week.
weird because I feel like millennials would have more would like take more time doing their jobs
Yeah.
and like doing
Yeah.
other stuff, and freaking Gen Z's
I
back there.
can explain though. I can explain this.
Oh, really? Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Generation Z is more prone to streaming rather than watching television.
Yep.
When you look at the numbers for things like Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, Gen Z is all over it.
Understandable.
They
Gotcha.
watch a lot of hours of that. Where
Mm-hmm.
that's not to say that millennials don't, because they do, but there is a large amount of Gen Z that watch like streaming and all that more than my generation.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, a lot of people, you know, as the caller said, a lot of people will criticize us about you know, how much we watch TV or like play video
Mm-hmm.
games or anything. But a lot of people don't really think about how their hours rack up of them watching television.
Yeah, that's
Like, you might think you're not watching a lot of television, but if you look at how much you watch over the course of a week, 14.8 hours a week, that's like 2 hours a day.
yeah, that is.
That's not a lot if you think
not
about it.
that
You probably watch more TV than you think you do.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, going on, sort of moving a little from that topic, social media, we talk about it a lot. I thought this was interesting. The go-to social media for the millennial generation is Facebook. I was kind of surprised that it wasn't Twitter, to be honest, but I guess Facebook's a little bit more all around. But so millennials, they love Facebook. A lot of millennials on Facebook. However, Gen Z, I didn't think about this, and it is a social media. YouTube is their go-to social media platform.
Well, I'm always on YouTube, so
Yeah. I believe that 71% of all millennials said that they used YouTube daily, or Gen Z, rather.
I use YouTube daily.
And I think it was
Our
like
show is
50
on
I
YouTube.
think it was like 58 for millennials, so not a huge difference, but you guys love those streaming platforms.
And actually, if we go back to role models, PewDiePie, does he still have?
Yes.
He's the biggest YouTuber out there. Like
He is.
has
He
the
is the
most
biggest.
subscribers, and he's the most watched, and he is not funny, and I hope he sees this.
Look, man.
But I do like his haircut.
He does have a nice haircut.
His haircut's clean.
His haircut's pretty nice.
It's kind of like you,
I have no hair.
but you don't have hair. It's like if me and you like had the same like thing, but mine was dyed like blonde.
Okay, that's fair.
PewDiePie.
That's fair, I guess.
That's the best description of him you're gonna get, unless Chase back there wants to get to
Chase,
work
I
and
think,
put a
has,
photo
has
up.
gotten back into the throne back in the.
You want to put a photo up,
yeah,
Chase?
Let's get a photo of PewDiePie while we're talking about PewDiePie.
Chase?
Chase?
Guess we're not.
Chase, no photo.
No, I guess we're
All
not
right,
gonna
that's
vote. All right.
Anyway, yeah. Another interesting statistic is not really a statistic, but more just like an opinion, I guess, by looking at millennials and Gen Z, is Gen Z is more apt to like streaming and being creative themselves. Like they want to do more actual like content creation for like streaming websites and stuff like that than millennials do, and I can kind of see it. I can kind of see that.
You saw the beats being made recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's all Gen Z, dog.
yeah. Millennials have nothing. We got nothing.
Yeah, no creativity.
No
All you
creativity.
got there is punch trees and stuff.
But a lot of people, based on these, there we go. We got some photos of PewDiePie. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Don't scroll too far. You might see something you don't want to see. Just saying. He's not that clean of a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yep, see that?
But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, if that's your role model, man, that's
That's kind of whack.
That's on you, dude. But
I mean, look at him. Look at him. Yeah. That's
but
your role model.
I can't even remember where I was going with this. We started talking about PewDiePie.
We started talking about streaming.
All right, so streaming and platforms and stuff like that. Millennials are more. They seem like they want to go for like standard jobs more. Gen Z are actually more into this idea of taking their hobbies and turning it into a career, and they also have higher numbers of entrepreneurship compared to millennials. More of them want to start their own business or take their hobbies and turn it into a career, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
I guess all of us old millennials,
We're
want to.
boring.
We just want to get a job and just live our life and just people leave us alone.
I guess so.
Which I can relate, I guess.
I just want to play Fortnite.
Hey man, I mean, if you look at some of the people on like YouTube and Twitch and people like that, there are people out there playing Fortnite for a living. So I guess all these Gen Z people, if you want to play Fortnite for a living, you can give it a shot.
Next thing, who killed retail?
Retail. We talked about the millennials killed blank episode that one time.
Yep.
Well, we've got some interesting stats on retail.
And I have a funny story for
Okay.
retail after we're done.
Okay. So, Generation Y, the millennials, have spent loads of time in malls and
Okay.
like retail stores.
Okay.
And I can relate to that because I enjoy going to like retail stores.
I
and
do
malls.
too. I like going to the mall.
Because I'm not the kind of person, I want to see something, I want to touch it, I want to feel it, like, especially if it's like something like clothes or something, I want to put it on. So if I order it and I wait 5 days for it to get there and it doesn't fit, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
Gen Z definitely want to prefer to shop online for basically everything.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, but I mean, I can't agree with that on
I kind of want to go somewhere and then just get it. Like, get it now.
Yeah.
Be able to, like, wear it out of the mall. Like,
Right.
that kind of thing. Now,
All right, give us your funny story real
this is
quick.
my funny story about the mall. So, Four Seasons Town Center.
Okay.
You know where that is?
I do.
Okay. So, last time I went there, we were by Cinnabon. Cinnabon, you know what Cinnabon
Yep,
is?
the cinnamon,
Yeah, Cinnabon is delicious.
it is delicious.
And there is we met a Instagram celebrity there. You know who Icky Vicky is?
Ah, yes. Oh,
I actually
how
met
could
her in real life.
I'm sorry.
I know. She is very not
Pleasant.
pleasant. But she was with a group of people, and she got caught shoplifting,
Nice.
and
As most.
got her tackled and arrested.
All right, nice.
And then one of her friends pulled out a gun and started shooting.
I mean,
So I've never been to town
I
center
mean, what
since.
else do you do?
What
when
else
you
do
get
you do
caught
in that
shoplifting?
situation? So I shop online now. I guess I'm part. That's the Gen Z
You know, I
thing now.
remember hearing about that happening, and I was like, wow, I feel like I should never go to the mall again. And I'm pretty sure I was there like a week later, because it's not like that happens like every day.
Yeah.
But you also have to think when they're in popular, and that's another thing that people don't realize. I feel like in more populated areas, people are like, oh, that's a big city. There's a ton of crime. Yeah, there's more people there.
Yeah.
So of course there's going to be more crime. You can probably take the statistics of, don't quote me, but you can probably take the statistics of how much crime happens here in like a smaller city and compare it to the population of a bigger city and the crime they have. And I mean, I
Population.
feel like it probably evens out depending on the
Yeah.
city. But yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing about that.
It was scary.
And she is Gen Z, by the way, so you can take that all you want to.
Crap.
She's part of you. We have no part in this.
Chill out.
At least I think she is. I don't know.
All right. So our next is communication. You can take.
Communication. Do we
take
want to take a break and
Actually,
then talk about
yeah.
some communication?
You know what? We're gonna take a break.
All right, let's
Go
take
ahead.
a break.
You can outro it. Go
All
ahead.
right, we're going to take a break. We're going to be talking about some communication between Generation Z and Generation X when we, or Y, I can't spell, when we come back. So we'll be back after these messages. Well,
We're live. All right.
We get the scream. You're
Yeah,
live.
we just get this. We get the Ken special.
The Ken special.
All right.
So we're talking about the differences between Generation Z and Y.
Communication.
Communication. Charles talked about it a little bit. You know, Charles said he likes to run around places and be loud and be the center of attention. That's essentially what I got out of it.
Well, I mean, that's him. But I love Charles for it.
Oh yeah, I love Charles. Charles is a unique individual.
Well, he's not even watching. We can say whatever we want.
That is true. We can say whatever we want to.
But I do like Charles.
No, Charles is a great guy. He's definitely got the most unique approach to about everything that he does.
Yes.
And he gave us some crap about not wanting to do the face-to-face stuff, like face-to-face. You know, we would rather, speaking, meeting up, all that stuff.
That's true at all. For me.
Let me tell you. Gen Z actually prefers face-to-face interaction more than millennials.
Well, that's true because I love meeting up with friends.
And I hate it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, look, I don't hate it, But I've definitely had my gamer disorder moments where I'm like, I would rather sit in my basement and play Fortnite than go hang out with people.
Insane to me because I get like depressed if I'm at home for too long.
Okay, I mean I do too, but I definitely have moments where I would like, somebody would be like, hey, do you want to go do something? And I'm just like, not really.
The only stop for me is money. If I don't have the money for
That's
it,
fair.
I can't do
Yeah.
it. But if they ask, I'm down.
Yeah, but there are moments where it's like, you get asked to go do something, and you're like,
No,
you feel
there's
kind of like
not.
obligated to go do it.
There's not any moments for me like that. I'm like serious.
Like, if
need to have
anything, if
social
your
interaction.
friends are like, yo, we're going to do this, and it doesn't matter what it is, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, I mean that's a big difference between us then, because I'm not like that.
Yeah, I love social interaction.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I do too, but I feel like I get that through like texting and like online.
Not enough for me.
But I
Not
mean, I
enough.
guess that's a big difference, I would say.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, millennials sort of initiated like text messages as like the norm, and then Gen Z just rolls up and they want to come through and like meet up and everything. But
Let's
there's
go
one
to the
thing. There's
mall.
one thing we need to talk about though, and it's like I'm not trying to meme, but Gen Z prefers communicating through images, icons, and symbols.
I will pull up my text messages.
I was
every single one.
I was actually trying to find one for you to use as like a graphic on this show, because I feel like everything that you respond to me with is just like a reaction image or just like a stupid picture.
Oh, you should
And it
use the
is.
one I sent you recently.
I don't remember. I can't. Yeah, no, I can't use that one. That's inappropriate. But yeah, that's pretty much just how like texting chance kind of goes. It's just like a lot of like laughing emojis and just pictures, like dumb pictures. But it's funny. But I found that yes.
Okay,
Actually,
we
haven't been
no,
talking like that since
no.
like we haven't been talking like that since
I don't
I
know
was like
what you're
10,
talking
like, since
about.
I was 12.
That's blasphemy.
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen someone say
Cray cray?
cray?
Cray
Ooh.
cray. Did you write that, Chase?
That's yikes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, Chase wrote that.
Hashtag.
Hashtag.
Photobomb.
Owen.
YOLO is one that is now
gosh.
dead. YOLO has died. The police, the sirens are going off outside. The police are here
WordUp.net.
to
They
arrest
know.
Chase for this travesty of an image that he just showed.
Yeah, that's cursed.
That's a cursed image.
That's a cursed
That is
image.
When I remember, here's one that I like. Remember when everybody said epic about everything?
Oh,
Like, that's epic.
My friends say that ironically and makes me want to die.
Yeah,
Literally, they're like, dude, epic win. I was like,
Yeah.
break my neck.
My favorite is I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a tweet by Ben Shapiro, and he's retweeting this article, and his only commentary on it is he goes, "Okay, this is epic," and me and my friends say that like all the time.
If you want to talk to a millennial or a Gen Z, and like this is a situation that you can really relate to them with. If anything like even slightly bad or slightly like uncomfortable happens, just be like, it be like that sometimes. If you say it be like that sometimes, you'll be in. You're in the club.
It really makes sense because sometimes it do be like that. Sometimes
Like it really do be like that sometimes. Like just every now and again, it just be like that. But it is time for our show to end because
wow,
it's
how
like that.
sad.
It really
we
is.
really got on a roll there for a second.
Yeah, it is time for our show to end. My name's Chance Ramsdell,
I am Jonathan Mills.
and I guess it just be like that sometimes.
It just be like that sometimes. Sometimes
So-
you gotta go. Check us out, Misunderstanding Millennials on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe and like our page so you can keep up to date with the stuff that we're
Yep.
doing and our shows. And
Yep.
we will see you next time on
Yes, we will.
Misunderstanding Millennials.